what?
Won't you come and meet me at the movies? Won't you come and watch a flick with me? Famous scenes with drama queens and heroes acting out there on a silver screen. Come grab a seat, the popcorn is on me.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Hello and welcome to Meet Me at the Movies. Noel T. Manning II here. We appreciate you joining us, however you choose to do that. And very happy today to have some fellow North Carolina Film Critics Association members and the dudes behind the Footcandle Film Festival, the Alan Jackson and Chris Fry. That's right, the original Alan Jackson and
That's
Chris
correct.
Fry.
Yes.
So good to see you guys.
Well, thanks for having us on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great to see you, Noel. Thanks for letting us come and talk to you.
Oh, absolutely. Well, excited. I'm always excited to talk about film festivals, especially those that are from North Carolina, that have these North Carolina roots. And just up the road from Cleveland County, we've got the Footcandle Film Festival that we're going to chat about today. And you guys, you have been doing this for how many years now?
So the festival has been since 2015, but the festival kind of came about because we started a film society in 2008. So it's been a while. This will be our 11th festival this year.
Wow.
So,
Wow. And this year's festival, people could check it out September 19th through the 28th. And where are the films going to be screened?
Yeah, so a majority of the film screenings will be at the Hickory Community Theater, which is our community theater in downtown Hickory. We do have a couple of events outside of the theater. We've got one film screening one night at the Carolina Theater in downtown Hickory. And then we have a special outdoor movie going on at a venue called The Hum, also in Hickory, the weekend before. But all of the other film screenings and activities will be happening at the Hickory Community Theater, which is located very nice downtown square of downtown Hickory.
Awesome. Well, Alan and Chris, I'd love for you to talk about, tell us a little bit about who you guys are from a standpoint of your love of film, and then how this film festival got started. So, Chris, why don't we start with you?
Sure. So back in 2008, Alan and I, we worked together. Our day jobs were videographers and we would often go see films, and a lot of the ones we wanted to see were in Charlotte or Winston-Salem or Asheville. And so we would drive all the way down, we'd see the film, and then we'd stand in the parking lot and talk about the film afterwards. And then it would be like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning by the time we got back home.
Sometimes it would be, yes.
So not very popular with our wives. So we're like, we've got to figure out a way to bring more independent films to Hickory so that we don't have to drive so far. So that's what we did. We made a film society. And as soon as we did that, our members were like, oh, this is so cool. We want a festival. And we're like, okay, well, awesome. We'd like to do that, but just give us a little bit. So finally in 2015, we said, okay, we're ready to make the jump. And we did. So
if you got the impression, Noel, that we set up this whole film society just to be of convenience to the two of us so we don't have to drive places. All of this is because we just got tired of driving places and sitting in
Well, why not? That's what
right.
it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Well, you started as friends, co-workers, and you guys continue to work together just beyond the festival, correct?
right. Yeah. So, we work, he and I've known each other for over 20 years now. And we make a lot of videos for nonprofits and things like that. And we continue. That's our day job. So the Film Society and the Film Festival is kind of our hobby, our love. And it's a lot of hours and it's tiring, but it's worth it. It's very gratifying. So
It's a fun pastime, fun hobby to have is to get a lot of people into a theater to see movies on a regular basis. You can't beat that. So it's all good.
In this film society, now these numbers may be wrong, but as I look at your website, which is footcandlefilmfestival.com, there's information about the festival, and it says 600 members of this society. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
yeah. And and that's, I think a lot of visiting filmmakers, when they come and they, see the festival, are like, wow, this is really strange. So this started from a film society. And we're like, yep. And we have over 600 members. And they're like, wow. We're like, yeah, well, without them, we wouldn't be able to make the festival go, because it's all volunteer. We're a nonprofit, and
Yeah.
they help us. They man the ticket booths and stuff, and they help us keep it going. So it's really a community effort, which is awesome. So
Were you surprised at how fast it how fast did it take off? I mean, how fast did you build up to
Yeah.
that membership
So
number?
the history here is kind of funny. So it was a little bit of a struggle the first couple of years. We'd have maybe 10, 12 people in the audience at times, and we kind of had to really question, all right, is this the right thing to be doing? And, are we just sinking a lot of our own personal money into this, making this thing happen? And anyway, it was when we showed the film, The Artist. Do you remember that film, the Best
Yes.
Picture winner, the
Oh,
silent film?
yes. Oh, yes.
So we got that film that did not show anywhere else in Hickory, and I think just somehow, everybody in the area knew about this film or heard about it and got excited about it. And when they found out we were showing it in downtown Hickory as part of one of our screenings, we had a line out the door,
Wow.
people to come see that film, and half of them signed up as members that night. So then we're off to the races. That kind of changed everything, and that
Wow.
really kind of got us settled. So it was just having that one film screening that really connected with the audience and the community. So.
Wow.
And with the society too, the way we started off back in the lean days, like you were saying, we did one screening a month, and that was plenty, because with 15 people, it didn't fill the
Right.
theater. But then after, like Alan was saying, after The Artist, we started to have to expand, and we actually do 2 nights a month, and we show the
Wow.
same film, but we can't fit all the members in the theater at the same time.
Wow.
So it was a good problem to have. So
Wow. Wow. So the inciting incident was The Artist. That's what
The
changed
Artist.
the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, let's talk about the festival this year, and talk a little bit about how many films you had that came through to be submitted for entries, and talk a little bit about your judging process. And you mentioned those volunteers. Let's give them a shout out as well.
Yeah, Chris, you want to take that?
Sure.
Chris heads up our film screening committee and the review process. So yeah.
So we had a little over 400 films that were submitted, and out of those, we're bringing roughly about 35 or so. And the way those get culled down is we have a screening committee of about 10 or 11 of our society members, and they volunteer and they watch them and they rate them and everything. And then what floats to the top, Alan and I then have a meeting where we say, okay, we go out to lunch, and we're like, all right, we're not leaving lunch until we figure this out. And we see all the things that rated, floated to the top, and we're like, okay, now we got to try to fit this into, the festival format, and try to mix things up and not have all documentaries about the environment, have maybe
Right.
one, but then we gotta kind of spread out our content there. And and that's kind of the way we've done it for 11 years now. So
Wow.
it's always fun. Yeah, so we've been fortunate that through the benefit of the internet, we are able to get films from international films sometimes,
Yeah.
and then we get a lot of course, films from the United States and stuff, but we get them from all over. And that allows us to kind of have a nice mix. And from the very first year, we had some international films. We
Yeah.
get short films too, and we try to something that I think kind of sets us apart is we try to have a short film showcase, and
Okay.
basically in that showcase we have 2 blocks, and we have a reception in between. But we kind of say, like, okay, here are a lot of really cool short films we want you to see, and we try to keep it like 8 to 10 minutes or so, for each film, so they get to see a lot of different short films.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time, we're showing like feature films, and then some of the ones that are still good, but they're
Yeah.
too long, like 15 or 20 minutes. We have a
Right.
special block of like longer short films on Sunday.
Okay.
Longer short films.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Sunday shorts is what we do.
medium
Yeah,
medium
oh, okay.
films.
Medium
Right.
short film, yeah.
Medium films. Yeah.
So, but it really works out, and I think it's a really good mix of things we're able to
We
bring.
honestly haven't changed the format of the festival really much at all in the way that we show it. We typically have 10 feature-length films that we show, 5 narrative, 5 documentary, and then we have
Wow.
a couple of blocks of short films
Mhm.
throughout the weekend as well. And that we started that year one, just kind of
Wow.
settled into it, and I think people have gotten kind of used to it. So we haven't wanted to monkey with the formula yet. So we've kind of kept
Well,
it like
that-
it is.
That's actually pretty amazing, because festivals do change and adapt, and But when you find that formula and that thing that works, I mean, why mess with it if it's doing what you need it to do? That's great. One of the things that I've discovered at other film festivals, especially the regional film festivals, is that filmmakers that connect with that particular festival, you can find them year after year whenever they've got a new project. They're wanting to, hey, I want to be seen here. I want to be seen here. Do you find that to be the case with you guys? Do you have the alumni that decide to come back again year after year?
We have one filmmaker, William Stribling. He's based out of California, but he's been here 5 times. And that's so we actually, when he came for his 5th time, we gave him like the 5 Timers Club jacket that they give people on Saturday Night Live. And
I love
he
it.
appreciated it. And so he has been here. We've had others that have been maybe 2 or 3 times, but he's been here the most.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So we're going to go to a break in just a couple minutes, but again, want to make sure that our viewers are aware we are talking with Chris Fry, Alan Jackson from the Footcandle Film Festival, and the dates of that again in Hickory at a few locations in Hickory. That's September 19th through the 28th. Before we go to the break, I just want to ask both of you, what have you enjoyed the most about this as you've continued to do it all these years later?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I will say, to me, the Q&As with the filmmakers that come to visit with us are the best. And that's the whole reason to do this is I think, it takes the place of us being in the parking lot, in another theater. So we're getting to have the conversations with the people making the films right at the end of the film. We're really fortunate that a majority of the feature-length films, we have representatives from that film joining us for a discussion and for Q&A with the audience. And even the ones that don't get to make it, we have a videotaped Q&A recorded session with them that we play back for the audience, so they can at least hear a little bit of dialogue. But that, to me, that's the thing that makes all of this worthwhile. So,
Yeah.
So I'll quickly say my favorite. We brought a film, I think the second year of the festival in 2016. It was called The Fits. And my daughter, she was rather young at the time, maybe 13, and she watched it with me. And afterwards, the discussion we had in the car on the way home, I was like, that's awesome. And actually, the discussion we had in the theater was also awesome because there were people that didn't like the film and were challenged by it. But then after hearing all the discussion, and they would say, yeah, I didn't really get it, But then by the end of the discussion, they actually commented again. They're like, you know what? I still don't know that I like it, but I appreciate it because of what's happened here. And they're like, I get maybe more of what it was going for. Still not for me, but I'm glad I saw it. And I'm glad I was here for the discussion. And they were like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that I've always tried to talk to college students who are interested in film. When I've had opportunity to be able to teach film appreciation or film studies, I've always said that we could have 10 people in the room and we could all watch a film and have different perspectives that we take away from it and different baggage that we carry in with it. And we may not always like it, but if we can find a way to appreciate why the person across the table does, then that's something special, because it is about film appreciation, and that means appreciating why it was created. Who are the artists behind it? Nobody sets out to create a film that they don't want anybody to like. There's got to be some passion there. So I appreciate how you said that, and that I think that's so valuable to share for sure. Well, we are joined by Chris Fry, Alan Jackson, right here on Meet Me at the Movies. We are talking about the Footcandle Film Festival, September 19th through the 28th in Hickory, North Carolina. Stick around after this quick intermission. We're going to come back with much more as we're talking about the Footcandle Film Fest.
Won't you come and meet me at the movies? Won't you come and watch a flick?
Join us this October for Cleveland Community College Foundation's 5th Annual Yetis Athletics Golf Tournament. Your support funds student athletes, helping them succeed every step of the way. Play with purpose. Tee off for student success. Visit cccyetis.com to register today.
As Cleveland County's premier event facility, LeGrand Center is the ideal location for any event. The LeGrand Center is located 45 minutes west of Charlotte, 45 minutes north of Spartanburg, and just a little over an hour east of Asheville. Whether you're a small business looking for a place for an off-site meeting or a bride looking for that special location for her wedding, LeGrand Center is the perfect place for you.
Won't you come and meet me at the movies? Won't you come and watch a flick?
Hello, welcome back to Meet Me at the Movies. I am Noel T. Manning II, and as always, thanks for spending time with us. It's always good to have you, however you choose to find us. Really happy also to have with us from the Footcandle Film Festival and the Footcandle Film Society, Alan Jackson and the original Alan Jackson, and Chris Fry. And we're talking about the Footcandle Film Festival going on September 19th through the 28th. You can find information about the festival, including the schedule, and more and more and more if you go to footcandlefilmfestival.com. Guys, thanks again for joining us. And you are the co-film festival directors, and co-founder of the Film Society. Co-founders, is that both right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you got it right. That's we're about as evenly split on just about everything involving this deal. So yeah.
Well, I tell you, when you find a partnership like you two have, and to be able to sustain it for this long, that's pretty substantial. I just got through reading a book by Alex Van Halen on brothers, and Van Halen went through a lot of iterations. They didn't stay together completely. At least the brothers did, but nobody else did.
Yes, right.
So it's good to see you guys have continued the friendship and continued this love of film that has been able to offer it to so many people. So the film festival again coming up later this month, and want to talk about any particular films or filmmakers this year that really stood out to you. I'm not talking about ones I'm not going to ask you to give the award winners, but anything that really just stood out to you this year that you want to make sure you mention
first. I have to give a little disclaimer here. So we mentioned in the previous segment, Chris explained the process for how we review the submissions and the committee and so forth. Here's a little secret, and I'm sure it can just stay right here within our little conversation, right? I actually don't see any of the films beforehand. I have not seen any of the films we're showing. I am going purely on our review committee, and then ultimately Mr. Fry over here on which ones to bring. So I sit in the audience and I get to see them for the first time with everybody else in the audience. I mainly do that because of time restraints on my end,
right?
But I actually really enjoy the fact that I get to experience the film with the audience the first time too. So it's nice.
I love that.
So I have to kind of bow out of this part of the conversation. No, I don't know what to tell you, but Chris has seen them all, and he could probably comment on that.
Well, and I'll say now, viewers of this may not really think this is true, but I guarantee you it is. We have kind of like a Penn and Teller relationship. I'm usually the teller part, and he's the Penn Jillette part, where he does all the Q&As.
I do all that.
He does all, and I'm just kind of more the behind the scenes person. I know I've talked a lot today, but I'm usually too nervous to do Q&As, so he does all those. So it's a nice balance. You mentioned we're co-directors, co-founders, and it's a nice balance.
Yeah.
So I will call out, we have an interesting, every year it seems like themes kind of emerge. We don't plan it that way when we're doing the lineup. But this year specifically, we have both a documentary and a narrative that both have comedians as the subject. So the documentary is called Anxiety Club, and it's by director Wendy Lobel. And the film examines all these famous comedians that have basically stage anxiety, performance anxiety of getting up and doing stand-up. but they soldier through it and they make it work. And when, they have Mark Maron in there at one point talking about his, he's well documented of having anxiety and stuff. So, that's the documentary. And then we are also showing a film called American Comic. And that film's director is, let me check the notes. I want to make sure I get it right. Daniel Clark. And that film follows two different comedians, and they're kind of a different stripes, but the struggles they have with kind of fame and trying to maintain just kind of their personas and stuff. And it's very interesting. And some of them struggle with just, trying to make it and stuff. So it's interesting to have a narrative. And it's done kind of in a documentary style, but it's a mockumentary. So to have both a narrative and a documentary that both still touch on very real things going on in the stand-up comedy world is fascinating. So I hope a lot of people check out one, if not both of those, because I think they actually have some interesting echoes. And I love that. We'll have a comic that's in Anxiety Club. He's going to come and participate in a Q&A. And then for American Comic, we have the director and the star of the film is going to come and be there for a Q&A as well. So that's going to be nice. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the Q&As previously and brought that back, because that is such an amazing thing for the audience and the filmmaker. But I think for the audience to be able to be there and not just hear these filmmakers talk, but to be able to say, "Hey, I've got a question. Can I ask that question?" Because that gives that personal connection between them and that filmmaker. And then when there are breaks, that you see them outside in the lobbies hanging out talking, or after a screening talking, and that's a beautiful thing about festivals like Footcandle. And I'm just so thankful that we have these that are available, because as you mentioned, the kind of genesis of this was not being able to have enough independent films or opportunities for people in your area to see really strong independent films. And there are some other film festivals that are in rural communities. And they're fewer of those, but for those that are like Footcandle, and I'll mention Reel to Reel in Kings Mountain, same way, it allows that opportunity for those that are in between these big metro areas to be able to see them and embrace them, and also embrace the filmmakers that make them happen. So, that's wonderful.
If I can interject there too, I think you're right. The whole idea of the Q&A with the filmmakers is such a treat, and it really makes the festival work. I mean, I don't think I'd have any interest in doing a festival if we didn't have those opportunities to talk to the filmmakers afterwards. But what it does is it transforms that film from just being some sort of piece of entertainment you watch up on the screen. It turns it into an artistic expression of somebody. Yeah. It turns it into a piece of art that you can then start to understand and learn more about. And it really just makes a huge difference. So yeah, that's the biggest thing people love about our Film Society screenings, and also the festival, is just the ability to meet and dialogue with the people making this work. And it's really important. Really,
that's beautiful. Well, we've got about 5 minutes, but I want to also give you a chance to talk about the things outside of the screenings. There are some opportunities like the Film Lab and maybe some other things. So please talk about some of those items as well.
I'm happy to hit a couple of those. We have got some really kind of interesting events going on outside of just the competitive film screenings. We have an outdoor concert going on Saturday, September 20th. That's going to be an outdoor concert and movie. So we've got a local band of performers playing some music inspired by the film Dreamgirls, and then we will be showing the film Dreamgirls outside, all in one event. So that's going to be kind of fun, some good R&B, Motown inspired music, and then showing the film that evening when it gets dark. And so we're excited for that. That's going to be fun. We've got our Film Lab going on that same weekend, which is our filmmaking competition. We give teams 60 hours to work on a short film that they have to start and finish within that time frame.
Wow.
And we kick that off on Friday night, the 19th, and they have until Monday morning to finish. And then we're going to show those films and premiere them at a special event the following Thursday night.
Wow.
At the Hickory Community Theater. It's a free, open to the public event. You can come see these films premiered for the first time, and let the audience vote on which one they think it was their favorite, and competing for the award. that we give out later in the festival. We've also got a filmmaker symposium that we're holding for the very first time. It's going to be on Thursday afternoon, the 25th, I believe, if I've got my dates right. I hope I do. And that's going to be a it's like a roundtable discussion. We've got a few filmmakers from the region coming in, and we're inviting anybody who has any passing interest in independent filmmaking or just curiosity about it to come and learn a little bit about how do I get started making films? How do I get the funding I need for it? How do I find the cast I need for my film? And what do I need to know about distributing it once I'm done? How do I get people to see it? Just the kind of the nuts and bolts of independent filmmakers. We're going to do a little a little symposium with that on a Thursday afternoon. And so that's going to be great too. So we've got a lot of little events going on alongside the actual film screenings that we've got happening the whole week too.
Well, I just applaud both of you because I know the amount of work it takes behind the scenes, and most people don't. And so I just want to applaud you for that, and the volunteers and all those behind the scenes that work to make this happen. So kudos to them. And one thing I do want to ask before we wrap up, you mentioned the Film Lab. Have any of these films gone on to other festivals from this?
I don't think so yet. This is our third year doing this, I think. Yeah, I think it's the third year doing this. Haven't quite gotten one to spur to another festival, but we have a lot of repeat competitors who have come back and competed to try to reclaim their title the next year. And awesome. I think it also has turned on some people into getting into filmmaking. I'll say we have several teams normally from the School of the Arts in Winston-Salem, UNC School of the Arts, come and compete. Typically, they did last year for sure. And of course, this is what they're learning to do. So it's a great kind of a little practice for them to kind of work on something in the middle of the school year on the weekend.
Love it.
And
I love it.
I'll just add to that real quick. Something that's fun about the competition too is you have people that are professionals. Then you have some people that are college students that are going to film school. And then we've had for 2 years running, or maybe 3, we've had some high school students from Virginia that have driven down from Virginia and competed. And last year they actually won. So some high school students won the competition last year from Virginia. So they came all the way to North Carolina just for the 60 hours.
It's a great testament that they don't have to be the most skilled, in the field. They don't have to have the best equipment available. It's just all about making a good film, something that connects with people. And these kids last year absolutely did, and that's why they won. So it was great.
Wow, I love it. The Alan Jackson and the Chris Fry joining us right here on Meet Me at the Movies. We have been talking about the Footcandle Film Festival taking place in Hickory, North Carolina. And September 19th through the 28th are the dates. I do encourage you to go to the website, footcandlefilmfestival.com, to find out more details on that, and including where you can get tickets and ticket prices, and also the schedule and much more. And if you also want information about the Film Society, you can also find that at that same website. Guys, appreciate you joining us. Any final thoughts or comments you want to make sure you share that I didn't cover?
No, actually, and I'll say the only other peculiar thing about our Film Society screenings at the festival and everything, we always try to have the audience stick around all the way through the credits. We're like, because try to show respect for every single person that had something to do with that film. Then afterwards, if you want to get up, leave, you don't want to stay for the discussion, cool. But please, 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 please try to stay for the credits, because that's an important thing, we think, to recognize the people that make the work. So.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks for joining us. And for our audience who choose to spend time with us, we know you could do a lot of other things, but when you take the time to be with us, we want you to know how much we appreciate it. And we do encourage you to stay through the credits as well for Meet Me at the Movies. Thank you to all the cast and crew that made this show happen every single week. Until next time, for Meet Me at the Movies, and for Chris and Alan and the Footcandle Film Festival, for this week on Meet Me at the Movies, that's a wrap.
The happy and the sad ones. We'll talk about the good ones and the bad ones. Many films to view till we meet again.